The Golden Globes have kicked off Hollywood's annual awards season. Paul Thomas Anderson's ragtag revolutionary saga, one battle after another, took top honours in the comedy category, while Zoe Zhao's Shakespeare drama Hamnet pulled off an upset over Sinners to win Best Film Drama. And Timothy Chalamet, meanwhile, triumphed in one of the most competitive categories. France 24's film critic Emma Jones has more on this. Emma, tell us more about the major takeaways.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Of course, the Golden Globes are really the punkier, more spirited, funnier build-up to the Oscars. And for those who really care about the Oscars and what the nominations will be in a couple of weeks, voting starts today. So the Golden Globes is at a critical juncture. And what we take away from this is basically, when it comes to Best Picture at the Oscars, it's shaping up to be a battle, pardon the pun, between one battle after another, which you mentioned, and also Chloe Zhao's Hamnet. So Hamnet, a Shakespearean drama based on Maggie O'Farrell's book about the death of William Shakespeare and his wife Agnes Hathaway's young son, won Best Drama. And then Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another took Best Comedy. It also took Best Director and Best Screenplay. Really what this means, because the Golden Globes has the luxury of splitting its categories into comedy, musical versus drama. There's 5 nominations for the Oscars. I would say it's really certain that Hamnet and One Battle After Another will be in there, and it will be billed as a battle between these two great dramas. You know, who will win? You mentioned Sinners as well there. That's Ryan Coogler's great vampire drama. That is not out of the picture by any means. It was thought it might take Best Drama, but in fact it won in the Best Cinematic or Box Office Achievement. And that is what is really interesting, of course, because Hamnet and One Battle After Another are huge critical hits, but haven't necessarily made the money at the box office. Sinners was a stonking great big hit at the box office, around $400 million and counting, really. So it's basically yet again another year where you say, well, what deserves reward? Is it what is popular or what is getting the critical praise?
And we have to talk about France, being at France 24. France was nominated 4 times, but didn't make away with a prize.
This was for Jafar Panahi, the Iranian director's It Was Just an Accident, which took the Palme d'Or in Cannes, you know, and has been filling up those categories. Now, sadly, he wasn't recognised on the night. And in fact, Best Film Not in the English Language, which would be the category really that film would have been predicted to win. It went to The Secret Agent from Brazil. Big moments for Brazilian dramas over the last couple of years, by the way. However, of course, the voting for the Golden Globes closed, you know, really before what is going on in Iran flared up. And also since then, Panahi has been sentenced, I believe, to another year in jail when he returns to Iran for even making the drama. So we know that politics does affect those who vote in the Academy Awards. And I just wonder, really, it by no means puts him off the list for the Oscars or even an Oscar win, given what is going on in Iran and what has been happening to him.
All right, let's talk about Netflix's Adolescence, because that also won big.
It did. Well, I mean, it won around 8 Emmys, I think, last year. So it was predicted to sweep the categories it was nominated in, and it did. I think it's a brilliant drama. And of course, what is really innovative about it is every episode is done in one continuous shot. It's also a really shocking thing about teenage violence of a young boy towards a girl. So it's really something that has been a zeitgeist, certainly, of 2025. So you've got Stephen Graham, the co-creator. He won Best Actor. Erin Doherty, I think she was in The Crown. You may know her from that. If you haven't seen her in Adolescence, she won Best Supporting Actress. And then, of course, the 16-year-old main character, he won for Best Supporting Actor, Owen Cooper. And he's probably the youngest ever winner in that category.